All right, we're now ready to begin the Clemson press conference. We're joined by head coach Brad Brownell, student athletes Nick Honor, and also PJ Hall. Coach, if you want to start us off with an opening statement, then we'll take questions.
Yeah, good win for our team. Proud of how we defended. I thought we guarded exceptionally well today. They're hard in those ball screens. They do a great job of getting downhill. I thought PJ and our post players really did a good job of leveling some things off. Kind of a game that was bump and grind for most of the start, but our guys just kind of hung in there, and I thought we got better flow the longer it went. PJ really helped us get off to a good start offensively, and we kind of played with a lead through most of the second half. They made a nice little run, and then give our guys credit. We were able to answer. Nick was terrific, 2 big threes back-to-back. Chase hit a big three, and Al hit a big three, made enough free throws down the stretch to get a good win. So happy for our team. We've really hung in there this year. Couldn't be more proud of these guys.
If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. If you have a question on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. Go ahead, David.
Brad, 13 minutes for PJ on Saturday, 31 and change tonight. Was there any game plan in managing this, or was it just play him like it was normal?
Yeah, I really hoped I was going to try to play him 25, 26 maybe today. We had a couple freshman bigs maybe not play quite as well as I would have liked to kind of steal a few more minutes. And, so I talked to him, and, he's ready to go. It's great to think about, hey, the next game. You got to win the game you're in. We'll wake up tomorrow like we have pretty much all year, and PJ will tell me how he feels, and the trainer will say how much he thinks he can play, if he can play, and if he can, he won't. But, yeah, that was probably 5 or 6 more than I would have liked. But I think PJ would tell you in the moment that, he wants to win the game and be out there. So
we're going to go to the right side of the room here.
This question's for PJ. Coach mentioned the bump and grind early, and you spent a large chunk of the final stanza of the game playing with 4 fouls. What was your mentality out there as NC State was able to narrow the gap a little bit?
Don't foul. I was making sure vertical, be out of the charge circle. If I do jump, keep my arms up, don't lean forward. Keep contact off the arms, but chest them up when they drive down the lane. Sebron's great at getting into people's chests, then going up and finishing at the rim. So I was making sure that whenever he got to the rim that I wasn't, causing a whole lot of contact. So that was a huge point. Also in a lot of our practice leading up to it. So, down the stretch I was making sure that I wasn't just enforcing contact. They were bringing it to me. Yeah.
We're going to go to the front left here.
Just for each of you, just the importance of staving off the, obviously what NC State tried to do at the end of the game with second chance opportunities. Coach, just how important that was, and to each of the players, just what you could say about making sure that you stayed poised on offense and got those opportunities.
Nick, how about you start us off with that one?
All right. Well, in practice, you do a good job preparing. Our scout team does a wonderful job helping us, try as best as possible to be like those teams we're going up against. But I think it just goes on as the season goes on. I think this was our 32nd game maybe. So as many teams as we played, we've seen a lot of different styles. So just, being poised was, I guess you could say the least of our worries, because we just been prepared.
For sure. Yeah, that's a great point. We have a tremendous scout team. We have a guy who's a walk-on who added on this year. He's higher motor I've ever seen in my life. And so we had to make sure that we always work on not giving a second chance for us in practice. That's a shout out to Dan Nassif. And so he does a great job of preparing us. And but going out there, you play 32 games, you learn to make sure that you can't give someone else a second chance. That's kind of how basketball works. Whenever they get that second chance, it's almost feels like it's guaranteed to go in whenever you throw something up. So you just got to limit those for sure.
NC State's going to make a run and come at you. They're playing downhill a little bit. You're trying to keep your guys aggressive, confident. I think that's important. Not as easy. I think we had a couple plays where we got a couple stops and then turned it over, kind of unfortunately, and that probably, opened the floodgates just a little bit late. But our guys did a nice job. They handled the press, looked up the floor, made good enough decisions to keep separation and got just enough stops to keep them at bay. I thought we guarded the 3 well and obviously did a great job on Smith, which was a big key for us in the game as well.
We're going to go to the right side of the room here.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, that's 5 wins in a row for you guys now, dating back to the regular season. And in those games, neither of your opponents have cracked that 70-point plateau. So I was just wondering what has changed for you guys defensively since that little mid-season slump you guys had during this year.
Yeah, we probably have changed a ball screen coverage a little bit. Some of that was done while PJ was out. We had to sacrifice a few things with PJ not being able to move quite as well and practice as much. And when he went out, with our young, bigger guys, we did a little bit more, became a little more aggressive in certain things. And I think that helped. PJ's fought to do that, and did a nice job today. So I think, those things are probably the difference in our defense being a little bit better.
We're going to go to the left side of the room here.
Yeah, Coach, you have Virginia Tech now, who you just saw on Saturday. What are the challenges and what are the advantages of playing a team you just saw the other day? And what did you like about the way you guys played defense in that game on Saturday?
Yeah, I thought we played about as hard and as well as we could play defensively against a very good Virginia Tech team. They have great poise, experience. Their big guys are, they're not only talented, they're really smart. They're high IQ players. But I love the way we competed. Our guys fought like crazy in that game. We're going to have to play with maximum effort and, shoot the ball probably better than we did tonight to beat a really good team. But the advantage, really for both teams is, it's an incredibly quick turnaround, right? We got 24 hours. Having just played them, have a good feel for what they do. They're going to know what we do. I'm sure they've been practicing for us in NC State for a couple days, but that's, a slight advantage that somebody we played. NC State we hadn't played till early January, so you kind of had to go back and figure some things out.
We're going to go to David Teal.
PJ, what have the challenges been of managing your practice and workout routines and then games? I'm sure an athlete's instinct is to go, but you've had to learn to curb it a little bit?
For sure. Yeah, that was definitely a huge challenge for myself. Whenever I was first having the thing in my foot, flare up all over the outside of my foot, it was hard to be truthful myself and my staff that, I'm hurting. And so then we're playing Drake, and I'd go down a little bit, and it wasn't feeling too great, and then it progressively got worse. And obviously I wanted to be out there and compete and fight with my teammates, but it gets to a point where you can't do that anymore. But I've learned to, sacrifice and make sure that I can be truthful with my teammates, and because there were times where I was out there and I was hurting my team because I couldn't quite move as well. And Ben Middlebrooks did a great job whenever I eventually went out. And so, looking back on it in hindsight, you want to compete, but, you have to be smart. And so that was definitely a huge learning point for me.
Our next question will come from Zoom. Matt Connolly, go ahead with your question.
Brad, just how important was that stretch in the second half after they cut it to 3 where PJ gets a bucket and Nick gets back-to-back threes there?
Yeah, huge momentum swing for us. They'd made a run and had taken momentum from us, and these two guys over here made huge plays. This is a game where players got to make plays. Nick, both of his shots were just a guy making big-time shots. It wasn't there. We didn't call anything. It's just him, recognizing the situation and staying in attack mode, being confident and hitting big shots. PJ, I thought, played very well and settled us into the game. And then, as the game went on, he had a couple of big buckets and big rebounds and did a nice job protecting our basket. So that was a huge point in the game when, it looked like momentum had shifted, and quickly those baskets, Nick's 2 back-to-back threes, gave us the lead and the cushion that we probably needed down the stretch.
You go front left over here.
Nick, I was wondering, what do you feel about your performance today? 13 points, playing 35 minutes. It felt like you really kind of controlled the pace of the game, also dealing with, Hunter dealing with foul trouble early on.
I felt pretty good out there. Just playing my game, just kind of seeing like the flow of the game and how they're playing and just basically taking what they give me. I would say I played okay. I probably would take back the one turnover I had or the missed free throw, but all in all, I'm just glad we got the win.
And our last question will come from Davis Porter via Zoom. Davis, go ahead with your question.
Hey, PJ, how much did sitting those last 2 or 3 games and late in the regular season help the foot? And I guess how did you feel today physically?
It definitely helped a lot. Just whenever I went down to Louisville, I had to take a few days off to at least be able to move around at all on it. So missing the games against Georgia Tech, all those games, Boston College and some other one. But it was huge to get some rest on it. I came back the last game of the season, get my feet wet, or regular season at least, and it felt pretty solid up there tonight. So rest up and ice it tonight and be ready to go tomorrow, hopefully.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.